So I start out by adding some peanut buttercream to like a 10-inch cake board. And I do this because you don't want the cake to move around while you're icing it or anything. And then I'm taking 3 6-inch pink velvet cakes and just layering them and adding a good amount of pink buttercream in between them. Once I have all the layers of cake stacked, then I'm just adding a thin layer around the cake, and this will be the crumb coat. And basically a crumb coat, it just locks all the crumbs in, so when you add the other layers of icing, the crumbs won't show or anything. And after this, you're going to pop it in the fridge for 30 minutes. I end up adding 2 more layers to the cake and make sure to put it in the fridge in between each layer. And on this cake, it doesn't matter that the icing is not perfectly smooth because we'll be putting fondant on top to cover it all up. I start off by rolling some black fondant out to about an eighth of an inch. Once I have it all rolled out, I'm gonna pick it up and then drape it on the cake. I'm using my fondant smoother to just smooth out all of the seams, all of the crevices to make the cake look nice and smooth. And then once you have it all smooth out, you're just gonna trim around the edges and make sure that it's flush with the cake. For the wings, I'm rolling out a thick piece of fondant. And then I'm just going to be using a template, a bat wing template that I got offline, and I'm just going to trace out the wings and then cut them out. And then once I have them out, I'm just going to use some floral wire to stick into them so it'll have more support when I put it on the cake. And you're going to want to probably make these about 2 days in advance for the cake so they have time to harden and stiffen up. But you don't want to have like sad droopy wings. For the ears, I'm just doing the exact same thing. I'm using a template and I'm just cutting them out and then I'm just putting floral wire in them to give them some more support. Okay, so now on to the facial features of this bat. I'm rolling out some white fondant. You can use any cookie cutter, but this is what I had, so this thing, I don't know what this is for, but it was perfect size and it worked perfectly to make the eye. And then for the actual color for him, we're gonna give him some red eyes, so I'm rolling out red fondant, and then I'm using another really weird like circle thing that I found, but you can use any type of like circle cutter. It doesn't matter, as long as it's the perfect size, and this thing happened to be, and I have no idea what this is, but it works. And then for the pupil, I'm rolling out some black fondant. I'm using the same cookie cutter, but I'm using the smaller side for it. For the little white part that shows the light reflecting off, I'm just like tearing off a little piece of white fondant and just sticking it right on. For the mouth, we're gonna give him like a happy smile, so I'm just gonna roll out a thin black piece of fondant. We're just gonna curve it to look like he's smiling. And then for the teeth, I'm just using white fondant and I'm cutting out 2 triangles to give him his little fangs that all bats have. And then for the tongue, we're going to give him a cute little tongue so it looks like he's sticking out. I'm just using really light pink fondant, and then I'm just going to cut a U shape, and then a fondant tool just to add the little line indentation that tongues have. And then we're going to give him some pink cheeks to make it look like he's blushing and make him look cuter. And then I'm just using some pink fondant, and then I'm just using this cookie cutter thing, circle cutter, once again, because this thing has worked perfectly for everything else on the cake. Once we have everything made, then I'm just going to apply it all on the cake, and then putting each piece on, I'm just going to add a little bit of water to the back of them so they can stick onto the black fondant of the cake. Lastly, I insert the ears into the cake and then the wings, but for the wings, you're going to want to add some water to the sides of them and on cake where you're sticking them in. So when you push them in, they have something to stick to and kind of mold to, and you're gonna want to use something like a couple pieces to hold them up for about maybe 20 minutes to let them dry so they don't just sag down. Alright, that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed my little bat cake. It was a lot of fun to make and he was really delicious.